Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Thank you for being here today. You are listening to Code Your English, a place where we learn English and also learn about life. I am really happy that you chose to spend a few minutes with me. This time is for you. You do not need to hurry. You do not need to be perfect. Just relax, listen, and enjoy the learning. This podcast is made especially for people who are learning English. If English is not your first language, you are in the right place. Here, we use simple words and clear sentences. We speak slowly and clearly. At the same time, we talk about real life, real feelings, and real ideas. So while you improve your listening and speaking skills, you also learn something useful for your life. This is what Code Your English is all about. Today's topic is very important, and it can change the way you think about yourself. The title of this episode is Most People Don't Fail. They Set Low Expectations. This may sound surprising at first, but stay with me. Many people believe they fail because they are not smart enough, not strong enough, or not talented enough. But very often, this is not true. The real problem is that they expect too little from themselves. They stop too early. They try only a little. Then they say, I failed. Let me say this again in very simple words. Most people do not fail because they are bad or weak. They fail because they do not believe they can do more. They do not expect more from themselves. When expectations are low, effort becomes low, practice becomes small, and results stay small. This happens in learning English, in work, and in life. I want to make something very clear from the beginning. This podcast is not about pressure. I am not here to tell you to work harder every second or to be perfect. No. This is not about stress or forcing yourself. This is about understanding yourself better. It is about seeing where you are now and making small, kind improvements step by step. You do not need big changes today. You only need a little more belief, a little more patience, a little higher expectation in a healthy way. So take a deep breath, feel comfortable, and listen with an open mind. By the end of this episode, I hope you will feel calmer, clearer, and more confident. Let's begin this journey together, here on Code Your English. What does fail really mean? Now let's talk about an important word that many people are afraid of. This word is fail. When people hear this word, they often feel sad, weak, or disappointed. Some people even feel ashamed. But the truth is, many of us do not really understand what fail means. So first, let us explain this word in very simple English, in a calm and clear way. To fail does not mean that you are a bad person. It does not mean that you are not smart. It does not mean that you can never succeed. To fail simply means that something did not work the way you wanted this time. That's all. It is just one moment. It is not your whole life. Failure is an event, not an identity. You are not a failure. You are a person who tried something. Many people think that failure is the end of the road. They think, I failed, so this is finished. But in real life, failure is usually just a step on the road. It is part of the journey. Almost everything we learn in life includes mistakes and small failures. Without them, learning is very slow or even impossible. So failure is not the opposite of success. Very often, it is a part of success. Think about learning English. When you started, you did not know many words. You made grammar mistakes. You pronounced words in the wrong way. Maybe you felt shy or nervous when speaking. Maybe people did not understand you. Some people say, I tried to learn English, but I failed. But did you really fail? Or did you just stop learning? Making mistakes while learning English is not failure. It is learning. Every mistake shows you what you need to improve next. The same thing happens when we learn to drive. On the first day, no one drives perfectly. You may stop the car suddenly. You may forget the rules. You may feel scared. Sometimes you may fail a driving test. Does that mean you can never drive? Of course not. It only means you need more practice. Every driver on the road today was once a beginner. They all made mistakes. They all failed in small ways before they became confident. Learning a new skill is the same. It can be cooking, using a computer, playing a sport, or learning a job skill. In the beginning, things feel difficult. You do not know what to do. You make errors. Sometimes the result is not good. This is normal. This is not failure. This is practice. This is how the brain learns. The brain learns by trying, failing a little, and trying again. The problem is not failure itself. The real problem is how we think about failure. When we think, "I failed, so I should stop," then failure becomes a wall. But when we think, "I failed, so I learned something," failure becomes a teacher. It shows us where we are and what we can improve. In this way, failure can help us grow if we allow it. So please remember this. Failure is not the end. It is not something to fear. It is a sign that you are trying something new. If you never fail, it often means you are not trying at all. And trying, even with mistakes, is always better than doing nothing. As we move forward in this podcast, keep this idea in your mind. Failure is not your enemy. It is part of your learning journey in English and in life. What are expectations? Now let's talk about another very important word. This word is expectation. We hear this word often, but many people are not sure what it really means, so let's explain it in very simple and clear English, step by step, without pressure. An expectation is what you believe will happen in the future. It is also what you believe you can do. It lives inside your mind. For example, if you think, "I will understand this lesson," that is an expectation. If you think, "I cannot understand this," that is also an expectation. Expectations are not facts. They are beliefs, and these beliefs quietly guide your actions every day. Expectations are like a small voice inside you. This voice talks to you before you start something. It says things like, "You can do this," or "This is too hard for you." Many times, we do not even notice this voice, but it is always there. It affects how much effort we give, how long we try, and how quickly we stop. In a very simple way, expectations decide how far we go. Now let's understand the difference between high expectations and low expectations. High expectations do not mean dreaming of something impossible. They do not mean putting too much pressure on yourself. High expectations simply mean believing that you can improve, learn, and do better with time and effort. Low expectations mean believing that you cannot do much, even before you really try. Let's look at studying as an example. Imagine two students. The first student thinks, "I am not good at studying. I will study a little, but I don't expect good results." This is a low expectation. Because of this belief, the student studies less, stops quickly, and gives up easily. The second student thinks, "This is difficult, but I can understand it if I study step by step." This is a higher expectation. Because of this belief, the student studies longer and tries again, even when it feels hard. Now think about work. Some people believe, "This job is just for money. I cannot grow here. With this expectation, they do only the minimum. They do not learn new skills. They do not try new things. Other people believe, I can learn something here and improve myself. With this expectation, they pay more attention, ask questions, and slowly grow. The job may be the same, but the expectations change the results. Let's talk about English speaking, because many listeners feel this very deeply. Some learners think, my English is bad. I cannot speak well. I will always make mistakes. This is a low expectation. Because of this belief, they speak less. They stay quiet. They feel afraid. Other learners think, my English is not perfect, but I can improve if I practice. This is a higher expectation. They speak more. They make mistakes, but they continue. Over time, their English becomes better. So expectations are not about talent. They are not about luck. They are about belief. What you believe about yourself shapes what you do. When expectations are low, actions are small. When expectations are a little higher, actions become stronger and longer. This is why expectations are so powerful. They quietly decide your future, one small choice at a time. The main idea: people don't fail, they expect too little. Now let's come to the main idea of this podcast. This is the heart of today's message. Many people believe they fail because they are weak, lazy, or not talented. But in most cases, this is not the real reason. The real reason is much quieter and easier to miss. People do not fail because they cannot do more. They fail because they expect too little from themselves. Very often, people stop too early. They start something with hope, but after a short time, they say, "This is enough for me." They may not say these words out loud, but they feel them inside. When something becomes difficult, uncomfortable, or slow, they stop pushing forward. They think that the effort they already gave is all they can give. So they stop, not because they truly reached their limit, but because they believe they did. Another common thought is, I cannot do more. This thought feels very real and very strong, but in many cases it is not a fact. It is only an expectation. When someone believes they cannot do more, they do not even try to do more. The mind closes the door before the body has a chance to move forward. Over time, this belief becomes a habit. People stop believing in growth, and they start accepting very small results as their final result. Low expectations slowly reduce effort. When you expect very little from yourself, you do not give your full energy. You do not try again after a mistake. You do not practice when it feels boring or hard. You may think, why should I try harder? This is already my level. In this way, effort becomes smaller and smaller without you even noticing it. Low expectations also reduce practice. Practice needs patience and repetition. But when expectations are low, practice feels useless. People think, I practiced before, and nothing changed. So they stop practicing regularly. In learning English, this happens very often. People practice for a short time, do not see fast results, and then stop. They believe this is their limit, but in reality, they just did not practice long enough. Confidence is also deeply connected to expectations. When expectations are low, confidence slowly disappears. Every small mistake feels bigger than it really is. People start to doubt themselves more. They compare themselves with others and feel worse. This low confidence then confirms their low expectations, and a painful cycle begins. They expect little, so they do little. They do little, so results stay small. And because results are small, They expect even less next time. This is why many people feel stuck in life. They are not moving forward, but they are not moving backward either. They stay in the same place for years. Not because they are incapable, but because their expectations built a small box around them. They live inside this box and believe this is all life has for them. The important thing to understand is this: low expectations feel safe. They protect us from disappointment. If we expect little, we cannot be disappointed too much. But this safety has a price. It slowly takes away growth, progress, and self-belief. Raising expectations is not about pressure or stress. It is about giving yourself permission to try a little longer, a little deeper, and with a little more belief. That is where real change begins. Simple, real-life examples, daily life situations. Now, let's make this idea very clear by looking at simple, real-life examples. When we see how expectations work in daily life, it becomes easier to understand why they are so powerful. These examples are not special or rare. They are things that many people experience every day. You may even see yourself in some of them, and that is completely okay. Let's start with learning English. Imagine a person who wants to improve their English speaking. In the beginning, they feel motivated. They listen to podcasts, maybe like this one, and they try to learn new words. But inside their mind, they have a quiet expectation. They think, English is very hard for me. I am not good at languages. I will never speak fluently. Because of this low expectation, they practice only a little. They listen sometimes, but they do not speak much. When they make mistakes, they feel embarrassed and stop. After some time, they say, I tried, but my English did not improve. It looks like failure, but in reality, the expectation was low from the start. Now imagine another learner. This person also finds English difficult. They also make many mistakes, but their expectation is different. They think, if I practice a little every day, I can improve slowly. Because of this belief, they keep listening, repeating, and speaking, even when it feels uncomfortable. They do not expect fast results, but they expect progress. After some months, their English becomes clearer. The difference is not talent. The difference is expectation. Now let's talk about work or career. Many people enter a job and quickly decide their future. They think, this is just my job. I cannot grow here. Because of this low expectation, they do only what is asked. They do not learn new skills. They do not ask questions. They wait for time to pass. Years go by and nothing changes. Then they say, my career failed. But the truth is, their expectation limited their actions. On the other hand, some people believe, I may not be in my dream job, but I can learn something here. With this expectation, they observe, practice, and improve. They take small responsibilities. They make mistakes, but they learn from them. Slowly, they grow. Sometimes they get better opportunities. Sometimes they find a better job later. Again, the job may be the same, but expectations change the results. Now let's look at personal habits, like reading, exercise, or speaking confidently. Many people want to read more, exercise regularly, or speak better in public. But they think, I am not a reader, or I am not an active person, or I am not good at speaking. These low expectations make them start and stop again and again. They read for 2 days and stop. They exercise for 1 week and quit. They speak once and then stay silent. But when expectations change, habits change too. A person who thinks, I can read a few pages every day, will read more over time. A person who thinks, I can walk for 10 minutes today, will slowly build strength. A person who thinks, I can speak one sentence today, will slowly become more confident. The actions are small, but they continue. And because they continue, results grow. These examples show one simple truth. Expectations shape behavior. Behavior shapes results. When expectations are low, results stay low. When expectations are higher, even a little effort increases, practice continues, and confidence grows. This is why changing expectations can quietly change your life. Why people set low expectations, emotional and mental reasons. Now let's talk about something very important and very human. Many people ask, why do I set low expectations for myself? This question is not about blame. It is not about weakness. It is about understanding. When we understand the reasons, we become kinder to ourselves. And when we are kinder to ourselves, real change becomes possible. One strong reason is the fear of failure. Many people are afraid of failing because failure once hurt them. Maybe they tried something before and it did not work. Maybe they felt embarrassed or disappointed. So the mind learns a lesson, but not a healthy one. It learns, if I expect less, I will feel less pain. Low expectations feel like protection. They help people avoid strong disappointment. But this protection also limits growth. Another deep reason is the fear of judgment. People worry about what others will think or say. They worry about being laughed at, corrected, or misunderstood. This fear is very common, especially when learning something new like English speaking. To avoid judgment, people lower their expectations. They say, I will not try too much, so no one will expect much from me. This feels safe, but it keeps people quiet and invisible. Past bad experiences also shape expectations. If someone failed an exam, lost a job, or was told they were not good enough, these moments stay in the mind for a long time. Even years later, the memory can influence belief. The person may think, last time I tried, it went badly, so this time I should not expect much. The past then controls the future, even when the situation is different. Lack of support is another powerful reason. When people do not receive encouragement, they stop encouraging themselves. If no one believes in them, they slowly stop believing in their own potential. This can happen in families, schools, workplaces, or even friendships. Without support, people feel alone. And when someone feels alone, they often lower expectations to avoid feeling disappointed again. The comfort zone is also a big reason. Low expectations keep life predictable. When expectations are low, there are fewer risks and fewer surprises. The comfort zone feels safe and familiar. But comfort can become a quiet prison. People stay where they are, not because they are happy, but because they are used to it. Growth feels scary, so expectations stay small. The most important thing to remember is this: setting low expectations is often a response to pain, not laziness. People do it to protect themselves. When we understand this, we stop blaming ourselves. We start asking better questions. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with me?" we can ask, "What happened to me?" This shift in thinking opens the door to healing, confidence, and healthier expectations. The cost of low expectations, what we lose. Now let's talk about the hidden cost of low expectations. At first, low expectations may feel safe and comfortable. They protect us from disappointment and fear. But over time, they take something very valuable from us. They take away chances, growth, and belief. These losses do not happen in one day. They happen slowly, quietly, and that is why many people do not notice them until years have passed. One big cost of low expectations is lost chances. When people expect little from themselves, they often do not try new opportunities. They do not apply for a better job. They do not join a course. They do not speak up or share ideas. They think, "I am not ready," or "This is not for people like me." These thoughts close doors before they are even opened. Many chances are lost, not because people are not capable, but because they never give themselves permission to try. Low expectations also cause very slow progress. When someone believes improvement is not possible, they stop putting in regular effort. Practice becomes rare. Learning becomes passive. For example, in learning English, a person may listen but never speak, or read but never write. Progress then becomes very slow, almost invisible. Over time, this slow progress feels like no progress at all, and motivation disappears. Another painful cost is regret. Regret often comes later in life, not in the moment. People look back and think, "I wish I had tried more," or "I wish I had believed in myself." Regret is heavy because it is connected to missed time. Time does not return, and this makes regret even more painful. Low expectations today can become deep regret tomorrow. Low confidence is also a result of long-term low expectations. When people keep telling themselves they cannot do much, they start to believe it deeply. Confidence becomes weaker. Even small challenges feel big. The inner voice becomes negative and critical. Over time, people stop trusting themselves, and this affects all areas of life. Finally, low expectations create the feeling of being stuck. Life feels the same year after year. There is no excitement, no growth, and no direction. People may feel tired, bored, or frustrated, but they do not know why. This feeling of being stuck is often not about lack of ability. It is about lack of belief. The good news is that understanding the cost of low expectations is the first step toward change. When we see what we are losing, we feel a natural desire to move forward. Change does not need to be big or fast. It starts with awareness. And awareness opens the door to better choices, stronger effort, and a more hopeful future. How to raise expectations in a healthy way. Now let's talk about the most important and hopeful part of this podcast. How to raise expectations in a healthy and kind way. Raising expectations does not mean putting pressure on yourself. It does not mean forcing fast results or comparing yourself with others. It means slowly changing how you see yourself and what you believe is possible for you. The first step is to start small. Many people fail because they try to change everything at once. This creates stress and fear. Healthy expectations begin with small actions. If you want to improve your English, do not expect yourself to speak perfectly. Expect yourself to listen for 10 minutes or say one sentence. Small expectations that you can keep build trust with yourself. When you keep small promises, confidence grows naturally. Next, it is important to set clear but easy goals. A goal should be simple and specific. Instead of saying, "I want to be fluent," say, "I want to learn 5 new words today," or "I want to speak for 2 minutes." Easy goals make progress visible. When you see progress, you feel motivated. This motivation helps you continue without pressure. Another powerful step is to replace negative self-talk. Many people speak to themselves in a very harsh way. They say things like, "I am bad at this," or "I will never improve." These words slowly lower expectations. Try to change this inner voice. When a negative thought appears, replace it with a kinder one, such as, I am learning, or it is okay to make mistakes. This simple change has a big impact over time. It is also very important to focus on progress, not perfection. Perfection is unrealistic and exhausting. Progress is real and encouraging. Look at where you were 1 month ago, not where someone else is today. Even small improvement is a sign that your effort is working. When you focus on progress, expectations become healthy and motivating instead of heavy. Finally, believe that learning takes time. Growth is not fast or straight. There will be good days and difficult days. This is normal. When you accept that learning is a process, you stop being angry with yourself. Patience becomes part of your expectations. And with patience, consistency becomes easier. Raising expectations in a healthy way is about respect for your time, your energy, and your journey. When expectations are kind and realistic, they lift you up instead of pushing you down. And this is how real change begins. Practical exercise for the listener. Simple and actionable. Now let's do something simple, calm, and very useful. This part of the podcast is a small exercise for you. You do not need paper if you don't want it. You do not need a perfect answer. This exercise is only about awareness and gentle action. It is designed to help you reflect, practice English, and connect with yourself. First, take a slow breath and ask yourself a very simple question. What do I expect from myself? Do not rush to answer. Let the question stay in your mind for a few seconds. Think about your English learning, your work, or your daily habits. What do you truly expect from yourself right now? Not what others expect. Not what you wish. Only what you actually expect. Now ask the second question. Is it too low? This is not a question to judge yourself. It is a question to understand. Maybe you notice that your expectations are very small. Maybe you say things like, I only expect to understand a little, or I do not expect to speak well. If you notice this, it is okay. Awareness is already progress. Next, choose one small daily action, only one. It should be easy and clear. For example, you can decide to listen to English for 5 minutes a day. Or you can say one English sentence aloud every morning. Or you can learn one new word before sleep. The action should feel light, not heavy. The goal is consistency, not effort. Now comes an important part. Try to speak or write your thoughts. You can do this alone. You can speak to yourself in a quiet place. You can also write a few sentences in a notebook or on your phone. For example, you can say, Today, I expect myself to practice for 5 minutes. Speaking or writing helps your brain remember and accept new expectations. If you want, you can also repeat this sentence aloud. I do not need to be perfect. I only need to continue. Say it slowly. Feel the meaning. This sentence can help you stay calm and motivated. This exercise is small, but if you do it every day, it becomes powerful. Reflection builds awareness. Awareness builds better expectations, and better expectations lead to better action. This is how change begins, quietly and gently, one day at a time. Now let's do something simple, calm, and very useful. That part of the podcast is a small exercise for you. You do not need special tools. You do not need perfect English. You only need a few quiet minutes and an honest mind. This exercise is designed to help you think, practice, and gently improve after listening to this episode. First, take a slow breath and ask yourself a very simple question. What do I expect from myself? Ask this question slowly in your mind. You can think about your English learning, your work, or your personal life. Try to be honest with yourself. Do not answer quickly. Just notice what comes to your mind. This question helps you see your real expectations, not the ones you say, but the ones you truly believe. Now ask yourself the second question. Is it too low? This question is not here to make you feel bad. It is here to help you understand yourself better. Maybe you realize that you expect very little from yourself. Maybe you think, I only expect to understand a little, or I do not expect to improve much. If you notice this, it is okay. Awareness is already a positive step. You are learning about yourself. After that, choose one small daily action. Keep it very simple. Do not choose something big. For example, you can decide to listen to English for 5 minutes every day, or you can speak one English sentence aloud in front of a mirror, or you can write 3 simple English sentences in a notebook. The action should feel easy and possible. When an action feels easy, you are more likely to do it every day. Now, try to speak or write your decision. This is very important. You can say it aloud, even if you are alone. For example, you can say, Today, I expect myself to practice English for 5 minutes. Speaking aloud helps your brain accept this new expectation. If you prefer writing, write the sentence slowly and clearly. Writing also helps you think more deeply. If you want, repeat this sentence slowly. I do not need to be perfect. I only need to continue. Say it once or twice. Let the meaning stay with you. This sentence reminds you that learning is a process, not a test. This exercise is small, but it is powerful when done every day. Small actions, repeated often, change expectations. And when expectations change, life begins to change quietly and naturally. Gentle motivation and encouragement. Now let's take a gentle moment to encourage you. This part is not about pushing you or telling you to do more. It is about reminding you of something important that you may have forgotten. Growth is possible for everyone. No matter where you are today, you can move forward. You do not need special talent. You do not need perfect conditions. You only need a little belief and a little patience. Everyone can grow. This is not a motivational sentence without meaning. It is a simple truth of life. Growth is natural when we continue, even slowly. You may think that others are faster, smarter, or more confident. But growth is not a race. It is a personal journey. Your pace is your pace, and it is okay. As long as you are moving, you are growing. Many people feel they are late. They think, I should have started earlier, or I am too old to learn. But learning does not have an age limit. Life does not close doors because of time. The only real problem is stopping completely. If you are listening to this podcast right now, it means you are already moving. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be to take the next step. Small steps truly matter. Big changes come from small actions done again and again. One word today, one sentence tomorrow, 1 minute of practice every day. These small steps may feel unimportant, but they slowly build confidence and skill. When you respect small steps, you stay consistent. And consistency is more powerful than motivation. Belief changes action. When you believe you can improve, even a little, you act differently. You try again. You practice more. You stop giving up quickly. This belief does not need to be strong. Even a small belief is enough to begin. Action follows belief, and belief grows from action. They support each other. So be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself like you would speak to a friend. You are learning. You are trying. And that is already enough for today. Keep going, gently and patiently. Now, let's take a gentle moment to encourage you. This part is not about pushing you or telling you to do more. It is about reminding you of something important that many people forget when life feels heavy or slow. Growth is possible for everyone. It does not matter where you started, how many times you stopped, or how slow you feel today. What matters is that you are still here, still listening, still open to learning. Everyone can grow. This is not just a positive sentence. It is how humans are made. Growth happens when we give ourselves time and care. Some people grow fast, some grow slowly, but everyone can grow. You may look at others and think they are better or ahead, but their journey is not your journey. You do not need to follow their speed. You only need to continue on your own path. Many people quietly feel that they are late. They think they should have started earlier or done better before. This feeling is very common, especially in learning English or changing habits. But being late is only a thought, not a fact. Life does not say, "It is too late for you." As long as you are alive and trying, you are on time. The moment you choose to continue, you are exactly where you need to be. Small steps truly matter more than big promises. A small step today is better than a big plan that never happens. 1 minute of practice is better than no practice. One kind thought is better than many negative ones. Small steps feel easy, and that is why they work. They build confidence slowly, without stress. Belief changes action. When you believe you can grow, even a little, you behave differently. You try again after mistakes. You do not stop too quickly. This belief does not need to be strong or loud. A quiet belief is enough. Action grows belief, and belief supports action. They move together. So be gentle with yourself. You are learning. You are improving. And you are allowed to grow at your own speed. Keep going. One small step at a time. As we come to the end of this episode, I want to say a sincere thank you. Thank you for giving your time, your attention, and your trust. Listening until the end shows that you care about your growth, not only in English, but also in life. That is something to be proud of. Here on Code Your English, every episode is created to support you gently, without pressure, and with respect for your journey. I encourage you to keep practicing your English in small and simple ways. You do not need long hours or perfect conditions. Even a few minutes a day can make a real difference. You can listen to this episode again, slowly and calmly. The second time, you may understand more. You may notice new words or ideas. Repeating is not a weakness. It is how learning becomes natural. If you feel comfortable, I invite you to share your thoughts. You can write a comment about what you learned today. You can answer a simple question like, "What do I expect from myself now?" Writing or sharing helps you remember and reflect. It also helps others who are on the same journey as you. You are not alone here. Remember, growth does not need to be loud or fast. It needs to be steady and kind. Small steps, taken again and again, create real change. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are learning, and that is enough for today. Thank you for being part of Code Your English. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep believing in your ability to grow. I look forward to sharing the next episode with you. Until then, take care, stay patient with yourself, and move forward one gentle step at a time.